Why do you believe what you believe? Because at some point in your life, you trusted the information that somebody was giving you. And that someone you trusted told you that a car was a car, a tree was a tree, a bird was a bird, the blue stuff above you is the sky. And that's the way that we began to determine what we believe to be a fact. Most of the things that we believe to be a fact in our lives are told to us through our stories or the news that we hear. So my question would be, if they were deceiving you with the stories they tell you, would you be able to recognize that?
What's happening, everybody, and welcome to The Way We See It. It's Tuesday night, everybody. I am your host, Blaze Man, and we're going to bring in some of the other boys right now to come say hello to all of yous. And here's Mr. D. What's happening, partner? How's everything?
Good, Blaze Man. Good afternoon. How are we doing?
All right, we're doing good afternoon for Mr. D and evening for me, ladies and gentlemen. Let's bring on Mr. Donnie.
How you doing, Blaze?
What's up, buddy? How's it going, man?
Not much. How's it going, bro?
All right, it's right. I hope everybody's ready for tonight's show. We got, some crazy stuff going on out there. Some crazy stuff. All right. Quiet down. But, all right. So, let's see here. D, mad feedback. Can hear all your traffic behind you.
Hang on. How's that?
Yeah, I guess that's better. All right. So,
There's something good there for a minute.
hello, everybody. And again, welcome to The Way We See It right here on the FFN Network. Tomorrow's shows are going to be from 7 to 9 p.m. And we're going to start off with politicking with Mr. B. Mr. B is not with us tonight. He's a little bit under the weather. Let's just hope that he is feeling better tomorrow to host his show. And politicking with Mr. B's is from 7 to 8 p.m. right here on the FFN Network. And new schedule change with I-12 GIA, Real Talk with Real People, will air from 8 to 9 p.m. Wednesday nights right here on the FFN Network. So President Trump, guys, he was live today, just a little while ago. Did anybody happen to catch any of that?
Nope. Didn't even know he was flapping. Because it's of no concern to me anymore.
Really?
Yep. No concern. Really? The man's going to be our president. I'm just going to try to prepare myself for the craziness that's going to follow and set myself up for the best success I can for the next 4 years.
Well,
How about,
go ahead, D.
How about them sneakers? Are you going to get yourself a pair, Donnie?
Oh, fuck no.
Why not?
No. Hell no.
Why not, Big D?
I ain't giving that motherfucker a dime to pay for all the bullshit he done got himself into. Get yourself out of debt, fucker. That's on you. Hell no.
I guess I'd have to agree with that, right? I don't know.
And they're fugly, man. They are fugly.
They're the ugliest fucking sneakers that anybody could buy. I mean, look, if you're gonna buy them to put them away up on a fucking shelf or something, you know what I mean? Then okay.
Are you gonna take a trip to the moon?
Yeah. Those are something like fucking Flash Gordon would wear. You know what I mean?
That's some dumbass shit you wear to how people get stupid. When they want to just do some weird stuff at a red carpet event or some crap. I'm gonna wear these sneakers one night. That's the kind of crap you'd wear like that, those shoes.
Look,
there's no way in hell.
But this is what's fucking pissing me off. Why don't we start off, gentlemen, with a little bit of I didn't record the whole thing. I just grabbed a few pieces here and there.
Yeah, grab some pieces and let us know what kind of dumbass shit he said, Blaze, and then we'll talk about it.
Let's see here.
I'm telling you this.
All right. So let's take a listen.
To the radical left, taking the Democrat money from donors and recruited all the votes. In the primaries that you just saw, she got killed in both of them. You had Iowa, you had New Hampshire. She got absolutely beaten badly. And she tried to cancel out Republicans, and she sort of did. She only got 25% of the Republican vote. In Iowa, where she came in a distant third. Remember, we have Ron DeSantis. Now, I've terminated that other name. Right?
The sanctimonious?
They said, what about the sanctimonious? I said, no, I put that into retirement, that name is. So now I call him Ron DeSantis. But Ron DeSantis came in second. He didn't come. She came in third, a distant third. And he got out, and then she went to New Hampshire, and she got slaughtered in New Hampshire, even though she had a lot of Democrats voting for her. Because in New Hampshire, they allowed Democrats and independents to vote. I said, this could be a little tough. And we still won by a lot. By a landslide, I guess. Sort of a landslide. And she didn't come to Nevada because they looked at a poll and I was at 97%. She said, I think we're not going to win Nevada. And we have a caucus, and it's not really a traditional thing. It's a caucus. Caucuses could be very good. Caucuses, like Iowa was a caucus. It's very interesting. It's actually a lot more work, but it's a very interesting way to go. Trump Republican voters are going to defeat Nikki Haley's liberal Democrat donors every single time. I mean, her biggest donor is a radical left donor who will drop her right after this. But the donor is a big radical lefty, a slob. He's a slob. You take a look at him. He's a radical left donor who gave her a lot of money because they want to fight her. They want to be against her because they didn't do too well in 2016, and they got lucky as hell with all the theft in 2020. They got lucky as hell. They don't want to go through that again. So now they've weaponized. They hope that's going to be their new form of cheating, weaponizing. They want to weaponize the FBI, the DOJ. That's going to be their form of cheating. The radical left Democrats rigged the presidential election in 2020, and we're not going to allow them to rig the presidential election of 2024. And every time the radical left Democrats, Marxists, communists, and fascists indict me, I consider it a great badge of honor because I'm being indicted for you. I am being indicted for you. Think of it. Al Capone. I got indicted 4 times. This was not in my books, you know. I went to the Wharton School of Finance. They didn't teach indictment 101. I got indicted 4 times. Al Capone, the meanest of all. Scarface. They used to call him Scarface. Alphonse Capone. Al Capone, the great gangster. He was indicted less than me. I wonder what my parents looking down saying, son, we're so proud of you. Never forget our enemies want to take away my freedom because I will never let them take away your freedom. Never, ever. They want to silence me because I will never let them silence you. That's what they want to do. That's the game they play. And in the end, they're not after me. They're after you. I just happen to be standing in the way. Here I am. It's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun. Had a good time. You get indicted because, you know, one of the indictments, he fought the election. Yeah, the election was rigged. Of course you fight it. By the way, you still have them fighting the 2016 election. I think every Democrat congressman and senator fought the 2016. It's okay for them, but if we fight it, but we actually caught it. And it was rigged, and it was stolen. Did you see where Biden, 2 days ago, said, I want to see the real governor?
Okay, boys. For me, this guy, okay, this guy isn't talking about a fucking thing that he should be talking about. Nothing. Nothing. He's not talking about what his strategy is going to be. He's not talking about what he's going to do for the country. It's about everything else. Let's just take another quick listen, gentlemen, and then we will jump all over this bad boy. Okay. Now, this, you know, y'all watched it with me. He hasn't said anything about, look, I'm going to do this with taxes. Y'all know, everyone who's watching, y'all know how it's supposed to go. You know what I mean? And he's not saying a fucking thing. Now, this is what irritated me the most about him tonight, guys. Let's take a quick listen.
And one of our big television stars, and you know who he is, he's been to a lot of rallies, and he had a tragedy this week. His son passed away. Fentanyl. And he is a fantastic person and a great television personality, but your boy is up there looking down on you. Rick Harrison, he's looking down on you, and he loves you, and he's proud of you. And it's not an easy deal, the fentanyl, so very special guy. One of the best developers you'll ever see. He's big, he's rich, but he's a high-quality man, builds some of the most beautiful things you'll ever look at. Robert Bigelow. Robert, please.
And for me, okay, let me fix this up here. There we go. For me, again, not a fucking thing, okay? His buddy, his so-called supporter or whatever this guy is, he's rich, he's this, he's all of that stuff like that, right? Not a word. Not a word about, when I become president, guys, I'm going to, make sure I attack the fentanyl crisis, blah, blah, this, blah, blah, that. Nothing. Not a goddamn word. Donnie, go.
What did you I'm sorry, you're disappointed. But me and Damon's been clamoring about that before. Being the president isn't about doing anything for the better of the nation for him. It's about what he can do to monetize that and line his pockets. That's all. He gives two shits anymore. And he's going to do exactly what he says he's going to do. He'll take the Department of Justice and he'll go after every single one of everybody that went after his ass. That's why I say I'm just trying to put myself financially in the best situation I can so I can maybe not be so hurting when the next 4 years of whatever sucks comes up, because Donald Trump's he don't give a damn. It's all about his agenda and it's personal. And he just wants his name out there. He's tired of everybody dragging him through the mud because he's done exactly what so many other politicians and everybody else has done, but yet he's gotten nothing but bad publicity out of it. It's all negative about him. You've tried to impeach him. You've drug him through court, meaningless lawsuits. I mean, it's just ridiculous. And at this point, he's vengeful. And that's what his 4 years are going to be.
Do you think, D?
Well, I'll add on the fentanyl, Blaze, and that was a good catch. Again, he didn't say how he's going to, control this or anything like that. If you notice the way he's been talking, it's the same way he was talking when he was going against Biden the first time. Arrogant, didn't hear too many things what he was going to do for the country because he
didn't hear anything of what he was going to do for the country.
No. And he never, as long as I've been following him, he never talks about bringing the country together. Never. And I think all his message is what Donnie said. He's just going to be a resentful dude during them 4 years. But I want to get back to how he dogs out his opponents, and it's all funny that he gives the nicknames of Haley and DeSanctimonious and all this.
Yeah,
shit.
Something when we were 16 and 17 we did to people.
But I learned something in the civilian life when I was a recruiter with the Army, is that you never dog out your other services, never, because you're lost right there. You'd go into a kid's house and he'd be talking Marines, and you would just throw it on them like, I think the Marines are great, but I could really see you coming out of airplanes and stuff. Twist it up. Don't dog it out. And that's what he's doing again. He did it with Joe Biden. Now, granted, he needs to get, take care of Haley and stuff. I just don't get this, man. And Donnie and Blaze, I definitely agree. It's going to be a revenge tour when he comes back. And what is this country going to be?
It's
And
just
that's all
gonna
I
be
have.
bullshit. Look, we did discuss this. Okay, we discussed it at length. Would he come back? You know, if he was elected president, would he, spend some of his time going after people, getting a vendetta done? I certainly hope, that's not what he does. But we all know how former President Trump can be an arrogant fuck.
Arrogant.
So
They even got a GoFundMe page for the last fiasco that he got fined in New York with the real estate stuff. 355 million is the goal on the GoFundMe website.
do you
I
think
didn't
that
believe this. I didn't believe this. I had to go see this. I really did.
he wants
And
the fucking American people? You got a link to that if you could. Anyways, he wants the American people to fucking pay his bill.
yes.
I don't think that GoFundMe was started by Trump. I think somebody else started it for Trump.
Correct, but come on, that's got to be an
No.
insider within his organization.
Well, we got to be correct here. He didn't do it. Someone else did it for him.
But let's look at the
And then the question comes, was he knowledgeable of it? Go ahead, Donnie.
right, and that's what I was gonna say. If he's knowledgeable of it, he knows what's going on. He's more than happy taking some money from people. Don't get that ever wrong. He is never gonna be turning down some money. Of course he's gonna take it. And that's once again, when you're going out to the polls or whatever and voting, is that really who we need in charge? I mean, I don't know. I really don't think he's gonna see straight and put the best interest of the country. So it just boggles my mind how he can get so much. But if I'm Trump, I'm riding this gravy train till it dies. He's making more money. That 355 million, he'll make that next quarter. Shit, he ain't worried about it.
Do you think it's fair, guys? Do you think it's a fair deal of what happened? I mean, not only was he fined $358 million, now he can't practice any kind of business whatsoever in New York for 3 years. And they went after his sons and did the same shit. They didn't get fined, but they can't practice any business or anything, real estate, blah, blah, this and that in New York for 3 years. Why they didn't do anything to his daughter, I don't know. But after everything was all said and done, I read an article that the judge was like, poignant. He was like, oh, I didn't like your attitude. And, as I was reading it, I was like, well, if you had all of this shit and you're so angry or whatever the situation may be, is why didn't you fucking indict her? Why didn't you bring her in and make her a part of this circuit court? Circus court, I should say. Do you think it's fair, guys? D?
I'm sorry. I wasn't paying attention. I was looking for that.
Do you think
GoFundMe
it's
website.
fair, D, that his sons got, in trouble and can't practice any business or anything to do with their company for 3 years? Same thing with Trump, 3 years plus a $358 million fine. Do you think it was fair?
I could give a shit less, and I'm trying to keep my language down and stuff. I really don't care what happens to him, because he doesn't absolutely care what happens to the rest of us. He don't. He could sell all that shit that he's.
Well, neither does Biden.
Yeah, exactly. Both the Democrats and the Republicans that we have right now is the demise of this country right now. They're both corrupt, both sides, man.
Yeah,
both sides.
It's a fucking mess.
I'm really looking forward to this next year's election, and we all thought he was going to change his tone and not be humble, because that's not in his dictionary, but just tone it down a little, and he's going right back to the same shit. I was fooled once, and I won't be fooled again with him.
Right. So you was 100% accurate there, D. You know what I mean? You get the bell, brother. Look at this. It's a fucking GoFundMe.
Yep. Look at the gold. Look at the gold. They have the
See,
audacity.
gold for me, right? Yeah, go. You know,
Scroll it down,
Really?
and you'll see the person who right there,
Really?
Elena Cardone.
yeah, Elena
Hey, go
Cardone,
back up. Go back up.
organizer. Yes, sir.
Please go back up a little. Hold on. What's it say?
Let me get that a little bit bigger.
750,000 raised so far. Three
Where the
quarters of
hell
a
did I
million.
do that? I gotta make it big for me too because I can't read the fucking thing. It's too small. No, sorry
But
for my language.
that's how
ladies
much
and gentlemen.
people already gave up for this dude.
Yeah, my name is Elena Cardone, and I am a wife of Grant Cardone, mother and whatever, who cares, supporter of American values and advocates for justice. I stand unwaveringly with President Trump in the face of what I see as unprecedented and unfair treatment by certain judicial elements. Donnie, where did you read that? This was created 4 days ago,
Okay, but look
and
right
right now they got 754,257 fucking $1,000,
$750,000 raised.
and
up.
their goal is 355 fucking million.
Hey, and they'll probably get it. And it'll go through some stuff and he'll get it and
But is that
it'll be what it could be. But
is this against the law? Can that be done? I mean, if he did it and someone from his campaign did it, would it be against the law? And that's why this woman, Elena Cardone, is the one that went and did it? And thanks for that piece,
I don't know.
Mr. D.
I don't know if it's illegal. It probably isn't because once again, she hasn't given any money to Trump. He hasn't taken any money. So once again, just like all the other impeachment and the tax money stuff, and just like Joe Biden himself is saying, where's the money? Find the money. Where did I take money? Same thing with Trump. Where did I take money? I didn't take any money. I'm not doing anything illegal. They decided to do this on their own. If they paid the fine and my balance is zero, hey, whatever.
Right. Agree. D.
So can you put that message back up there, that website, the GoFundMe website, and I just want to read one sentence and I'll come with an equation to that.
Give me 1 second. I'll light it up here for you. Here you go.
So this is what triggered me to do my little search. Scroll down.
We ain't been but a couple minutes, got another grand.
Scroll down.
No shit. Yeah.
Yes, sir. No, but so listen to what this lady says. And I am a wife of Grant Cardone. Fine. I Googled Grant Cardone while we were flapping our gums. He is a financial influencer. He says he can make you a billionaire. His investors claim he defrauded them. Whoa! Huffington Post. You want me to keep going? There's many more.
And all these people are gonna, give him his monies, and he's gonna promote all these people because they're diehard fans. Trump does he self-criticism or
Guys, 7,000. I'm sorry, Donnie. 7,100 people just donated. Donated. Yeah, Donnie. I just had to blur that out there.
Just Trump doesn't align himself with people that will tell him no. He doesn't like to hear that. He wants to hear yes, and it's always his way. And
right.
That's the way it's going to go. So of course he's going to promote the people that promote him.
Right.
He's always going to do. He's a great conman. He's a great salesman, and he's going to be our president very, very soon.
I don't know, Donnie.
All right, D. 30 seconds.
I don't think Joe. I'm pretty sure. I know Joe Biden is not going to be the candidate come November this year. Again, Gavin Newsom. I think he's the one that's primed up. I don't know what they're going to do with Kamala.
What you gonna do? What you gonna do though? Because time's running out. You better hurry up and make some decisions. You better put some people out there for people to to talk about, to see about something.
Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back Okay, this is going to be our first long break of the night. We'll be back in about 5 minutes. Stay tuned for more of The Way We See It right here on the FFN Network, ladies and gentlemen.
What you got?
In the distance, light years from tomorrow, far beyond yesterday. She is watching, heart aching with sorrow. She is broken as she waits, hoping when all is said and done, we learn to love and be as one. Oh, starlight, don't you cry, we're gonna make it right before tomorrow. Oh, starlight, don't you cry, we're gonna find a place where we belong, where we belong. And so you know, you'll never shine alone. There are shadows deep in the horizon that leave us scared and so afraid. As the fallout of a world divided, it brings her tears and so much pain. So we take cover from the dark, hoping to find where we can start. Oh, starlight, don't you cry, we're gonna make it right before tomorrow. Oh, starlight, don't you cry, we're
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to The Way We See It right here on a Tuesday night on the FFN Network. I am one of your hosts, Blaze Man, followed by top left corner, Mr. D, top right corner. Don't know where he is. He's probably changing his son's flat tire on his bike or something. There he is. There he is. There's Mr. Donnie. So, we have a guest from I-12 GIA, Real Talk with Real People, and Renee. So let's give Renee a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for coming in. How you doing, Renee? Hey, what happened? Your boiler let go or what, buddy?
No, I'm freezing. I'm like you. I'm on blood thinners.
Right?
Yeah.
Shit's crazy.
I can't get warm tonight.
Right? I did that some of those days. Last night, I was, my wife was, oh, it's hot in here bullshit because she's watching right now, probably going to get heat for this, but, you know, because a little menopause thing I think that ladies go through or something to that effect. So anyways, I'm fucking freezing. Okay? There's no heat in my house except for a little electric stuff. But anyways, you know, and I went too far now. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. All right, so we're gonna skip all of that. Renee, thanks for joining the show. Mr. B is under the weather. Hoping that he can make his show tomorrow. And your show tomorrow, I-12 GIA, Real Talk with Real People, premieres on Wednesday night now from 8 to 9.
Yeah.
How do you like that?
I was talking to Chet today. We're anxious to hit the ground running. We got a great topic for tomorrow night, and we got an even better one for next week.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. So, ladies and gentlemen, new time and new day. I-12 GIA, Real Talk with Real People. I mean, these guys specialize in everything, you know. Renee, real quick before we get on with the show, why don't you explain to the audience that's watching right now what I-12 is about and what they do?
So we're a group of three of us, former special operatives, myself and Chet, Lisa Medic. We own one company. We're a teaching company. We teach self-defense, firearms. We teach.
Okay, I get all of that, and I'm sorry, sir, for interrupting you, but you know, I'm pretty sure some of the listeners want to know your credentials. I mean, I could stand up here and say, yeah, you know, I specialize in this and specialize in that. So, give us a little bit more background, and everybody gets an idea, please.
So I was in the Army National Guard, then I was State Department operative. I was assigned to different embassies throughout the world in hostile environments. Chet Babcock was with the State Department. He was a contractor as well. He was assigned to the embassy in Kabul. We've both seen and done a lot of shit. Experience I'm fortunate and blessed. Gained most of my experience through the State Department. You know, through the regions of the world where we were.
All right, great. So let me get this one up here. I had just got your email, so we're all set with all of that. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank again Renee for popping in. Mr. B is a little bit under the weather, and so we were discussing Trump. He was live today, and you know, I voted for Trump. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna vote for him again, but you know, he's just agitating me a little bit now. Okay, like the gentleman and I were just talking to our audience about is that, you know, he sat up there for God knows how long. I recorded him for about a good half hour. I didn't play the whole half hour, maybe about 5 minutes or whatever. But even in the 5 minutes, this guy hasn't said a damn word of what he's gonna do. You know. I'm going to address border. You know, he had a friend that was there with them, and he was talking about the guy's son died from fentanyl overdose. And as he's talking about, you know, all he's doing is mentioning how this guy's rich Okay, and he say not one fucking damn thing like he should have, and said, you know what, that's the one of the first things I'm going to do, ladies and gentlemen, is I'm going to go after the fentanyl abuse and blah blah this and blah blah that, and he just didn't say anything, and my question to the other two gentlemen, and if you could answer real briefly, please, so we can move forward, is I know what your answer is going to be, but if we could just get something intelligent along with it besides just no or yeah, it's bullshit. Do you think it's fair, the 355 million, and the fact that they went after his two sons and they no longer can do anything in New York as far as Trump-related business, real estate, all of that for 3 years, and of course, Dad as well? What's your opinion on that, Renee?
So I don't think it's fair what they did to him. In fact, Governor Hochul the other day, I saw her on TV. She even said this was nothing more than a political prosecution. Donald Trump has a record that's tried and true. Donald Trump is going to go back to the way he was when he was in office. He said it about 3 weeks ago. He said, I'm going to be a dictator on day one for 1 day. I'm going to undo everything that this guy has done. So you got to remember, Blaze, he has a record that's tried and true. Things were great under him. People had money in their pockets. People were working. The economy was great. Gas was under $2 a gallon. I mean,
I don't think anybody here on your panel is going to agree with that statement, as far as that goes. But his arrogance, Renee.
Well, you got to appreciate his arrogance. I think it says a lot about the guy's character. I mean,
what, asshole?
Look at the deadhead we got in there now.
Oh, we definitely do. There's no ifs,
like
ands, or buts
morning
about
at
that.
Birdie's. They prop him up and tell him what to say.
But I'm trying to get to the point here with everybody, and that's including everyone who's watching out there, is that, is that what deters you away from him the most, ladies and gentlemen? I know what some of the answers might be here on a panel, but is it just his arrogance? And I'm gonna let Donnie jump in here. Go ahead, pal.
I'm not gonna call it arrogance. It doesn't. It's there's a difference between talking shit and not putting any effort towards it, and then there's Donald Trump talking shit and he's gonna do it. So I don't see it as arrogance. I just see it as that's the lifestyle he grew up in. That's what he knows. He didn't get where he's at. All the business he done before this. Did he blow up fucking prices? Hell yes. Anybody doing business, getting a loan might be trying to blow up prices because they need some extra cash. Who else you going to go after then? Because that's something that maybe the DAs didn't think down the road. Who's the next bigwig you're going to go after for the same shit? The same business practices everybody else is doing, trying to blow up loans so they can get some extra to do some stuff. So I don't think it's fair. I just think it was just torch to him to try to drain him so that maybe for some reason they think he won't be the Republican nominee, but that's not going to happen. So
Or
get over it now.
deter him from being like, listen, they're coming at me way too hard. I'm not going to sacrifice my family. And I think if he knew fucking 3 months ago that he was going to lose and have to pay $355 million, that would have weighed on him a little more. I think I agree with you in a percentage at the fact that they're doing this is because hopefully he would sit back and go, fuck it. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, he's not gonna lose. He's gonna be the Republican nominee. And if he had any inclination that he was gonna lose, his ass would have came to us. What do you call that when they come to an agreement? They'd have came to some kind of agreement. It would have been swept under the table, and everything would have been good. Or the DA would have been known as a phony because they'd have been like, "Well, it's about the tax dollars. Well, I'm going to give you a bunch of money, and you wouldn't take it." You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He was in a win-win situation, so of course he's going to take it to court, get more publicity, get more money rolling his way.
Right. I mean, how much do you think, D, and you can answer this too when I'm done, if you wouldn't mind, please, sir.
No, just go ahead, man.
I am the free publicity that he's getting and the money that he's saving on campaign money for running ads is got to be like fucking astronomical, right? D.
Yeah.
The RNC pays for that though.
The RNC pays for what? The commercial?
The ads, yes, yes.
Well, not all of them.
The majority of them, but I don't want to go there.
Come on, buddy,
I'm
you can do it.
I ain't got nothing more else to say about Trump.
Well, he's going to be there. He's not going to do
Yeah,
a damn thing for this country. He's going to do everything for himself. He's going to be vengeful. He's going to be dictator for the day and sign a bunch of executive orders. And come the end of the day, we're all going to be sitting here in the same pile of shit we're in right now.
I agree with Donnie, and that's the way Trump was brought up. That's Donald Trump that you're seeing, and he's angry, and
Yes.
there's a day of reckoning coming. I wouldn't want to be on the other end of the stick.
Yeah, well, I
no,
wouldn't
no,
be
Blaze,
either.
No, because you got Renee here, and we all know he's an avid Trump supporter and stuff. But Renee, I have to ask you a question. I mean, your prior life experience in the Army, so you got a military background. How do you feel Trump feels about our military?
I think Trump is proud of our military. I mean, based on his actions when he was the president.
Just get to it, D. Just ask
No,
the question.
no, I'm just asking him.
'Cause I know what you want to ask.
No, I'm not going to say it. You know, he made
You
a comment,
should.
suckers and losers. No, because you were driving the conversation. I just wanted to ask him this one little thing. That's
Right,
all.
and I'll do that. So, did you buy it, Renee, or how did you feel about it when it came out that Trump, when he was in Europe, they wanted to go visit the site for World War II veterans buried, and Trump said, "I don't go and visit fucking losers and what was the other word? Losers
Suckers
and what?
and losers.
Suckers and losers. So, I personally, that was 150% for me taken out of content on that situation.
I vaguely remember that. I'm looking it up. Hang on.
Well, because first of all, it was hearsay. Number one, somebody else said he said it. Okay. Go ahead, Donnie.
After his comments about Nikki Haley's husband and being deployed and what he said there, I have some hearsay. There's a lot of hearsay of him saying having them kind of comments, negative comments about former soldiers, active duty members, National Guard, how he, especially when he attacked Nikki Haley's family with the reason why her husband left and got deployed. Like everybody just jumps up in line and volunteers a hand. No, motherfucker, we get told to go. Not everybody's no. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
When he said those comments, all that hearsay about him having disrespectful and not having any respect for the armed forces, people in uniform, I'm starting to have doubts. I think maybe that might be true. Come on, man. There's too many times, like they say, where there's smoke, there's fire, right? There's a lot of smoke when it comes to Trump and his
definitely a lot of smoke.
View of the military is, man.
No disagreement here. Definitely a lot of smoke.
Hey, let's go to the next topic while Mr. Renee is looking that up because I know
Well, I'm not done with this topic. Anyways, let's listen to a little bit of what Nikki Haley had to say.
To Ukraine. Now to the 2024 election, with South Carolina's Republican primary less than a week away, the state's former governor, Nikki Haley, is hoping for an upset, despite polls showing her down by double digits to current GOP frontrunner and
I tell you, this broad's a fighter, man. She's a fighter.
Caitlin Huey Burns spoke with a defiant Haley on the campaign trail.
Oh, see, I can believe something.
Trailing Donald Trump by more than 30 points in her home state, former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley is plowing on.
At the end of the day, we want to close that gap. We want to make sure that we continue to show that there's a purpose there.
In order to win the nomination, you have to win some states. What states do you think you can win?
We're playing all of them. You'll have, after South Carolina, you're going to have another 20 states vote. Only 3 states have voted. We don't anoint kings here.
To your supporters who want to see you get to the nomination, how exactly do you get there?
One state at a time. One state at a time. If I were to get out of the race now, it would be the longest general election in history. The political elite are saying you should get out. Why? Why should I get out? Do we not want states to vote? Let's let them vote.
A win in South Carolina on Saturday would give Trump his 4th state victory in a row. Facing that,
I gotta tell you, she looks really, really beat up.
We can talk while the video's playing.
Yeah.
And his posture.
That's why for months we tried to set it up this way.
When it comes to Russia. But I'll tell you what, Russia's not getting weak in the knees.
Trump made his first comments about the death of Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny in a Truth Social post Monday, connecting it to his own legal woes, saying, "We are a nation in decline." Trump received a $355 million fine in a civil court case on Friday. And over the weekend, he tried to rally support at a sneaker.
Donnie's got a pair of those coming in the mail. So, I mean, let me bounce that out of there. I don't even know why it stayed up. It's not leaving. Okay. Let's see if it goes away on its own. Don't look at it. Distraction. Anyways, let me do this so this doesn't fucking get on our nerves over here, boys.
We lost somebody.
No, we didn't lose nobody. Oh, did we? Donnie, right?
Donnie.
Yeah, Donnie's gone. Take that out of there. There it goes. You know who I just kicked? Donnie. I tried to get rid of the video and it fucking accidentally kicked Donnie.
Oh, Jesus.
D, tell them what happened, please, if you don't mind. All right. So for me, like Nikki Haley, she looks beat up. I don't even think she took a shower that day, and I mean, what's her purpose? What I don't want to say that because I don't want to sound like an asshole. I didn't mean it that way. I mean, she must know, she must know that she don't have a chance. Sorry about that, Donnie. I was trying to get rid of the video and I accidentally dumped you instead. So D, you want to open with that?
With Nikki, why is she still in the race?
Yeah.
Because she's betting on these indictments and stuff that's, coming Trump's way, man. That's the only reason. If Trump didn't have these indictments against him, I think she'd have been gone. But she needs to look at that Georgia case with the Fan Willis lady. That case is probably going to get dropped, or they're going to select a new DA to prosecute that if they can. Right. So and I think that's the only one. That's the other ones are Mark's Nick shit, man.
My money's on a new DA, and they're going to look at it and say this is going away. This ain't going to happen.
Yep.
You think so, huh? You get a bell for that one, Renee.
Yep.
Okay, so she's, in the back of her mind, she's sitting there saying, I can't win this, right? Okay, but also in the back of her mind, like Mr. D just had mentioned, is she, ladies and gentlemen, you think she's sitting back and saying that, I hope that, the judges decide that he can be banned from going on the ballot in states. She's counting on that.
I don't think the Supreme Court's going to go that way.
I don't either. I mean, there's a lot out there to saying that they're really not. They're leaning towards him. You know what I mean? Well, I don't think so either. But I'm talking about it now because D had made a great point. And, she'll just sit back there and she's probably like happy that if they indict him, because all they need to do is reverse that, right? And she's in. Well, she's got to go against Biden, but she's a front runner.
Yeah, I don't think that'll ever happen.
I'm going to give everybody 30 seconds to answer, and we can clean this up. And
what are we talking about?
Renee, go ahead.
I don't think that's going to happen. Nikki Haley sounds like a bitter lady who Trump made ambassador. She sounds very ungrateful, and she's starting to remind me of Hillary Clinton. Okay, she's going to be a constant pain in the ass, and she ain't going to go away.
I don't know, Renee.
Even if Trump gets the 1,284.
I don't know, Renee. It sounds like you're not in favor for a woman to be president. Donnie, 30 seconds.
Nikki Haley is hanging around because Trump made a pretty good point, and I know she's got some pretty big donors still behind her. So yeah, I'm gonna hang out and collect more money. Why not? And I don't know how it works, but I mean, if Trump somehow gets convicted of a crime, I don't understand how that's going to get him off a ballot, because you're not going to get him on any kind of the conspiracy charges and shit. You're not going to get him. So you're not going to have a route to even keep it, because he can be a convicted felon. He can have done a crime and still be president. Shit.
Yep.
And by the time the appeals are over, with the elections over, with these,
okay, I got to let D go.
No.
Renee, if you want to jump in real quick, just let me know. Type in the letter H in the private chat. Go, D. 30 seconds.
Nikki Haley is just there to be in case Trump doesn't win, his court battles. That is it, man. She's got a lot of donors behind her, and I think that's what upsets Mr. Trump at the same time.
She's got rich ones.
Yes. But again, though, when you have donors like that and you're running a campaign for them donors, not for the constituents, the people. Right. Trump does a good job with that. Shit, DeSantis did it even better, because when DeSantis was still in the game, he said Trump is running because of his own issues, the revenge tour that's coming. Nikki Haley is running on donor issues. And Don DeSantis said he was running for our issues. That's all.
All right. Okay. Renee, I can't take that right now, bud. I'm sorry. Your 30 seconds is up. That was a great double segment that we carried on with Trump and getting Nikki Haley. Gentlemen, I'd like you to thank you for going along with that and answering the question and what's on your mind. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back. Okay, with more of The Way We See It right here on the FFN Network. Also, we're going to talk about some debris from a North Korea missile that was shot down, and we're going to get back to Putin, and we'll see y'all in about 5 minutes, ladies and gentlemen.
You'll get always the best of me, 'cause I love you endlessly. Girl, I feel so damn right when you're here by my side. I will always be there for you. Oh girl, I need you, that's so true. Hope you feel the same way, 'cause I want you to stay. In the distance, light years from tomorrow, far beyond yesterday. She is watching, heart aching with sorrow. She is broken as she waits, hoping when all is said and done, we learn to love and be as one. Oh, starlight, don't you cry, we're gonna make it right before tomorrow. Oh, starlight, don't you cry, we're gonna find a place where we belong, where we belong. And so you know, you'll never shine alone. There are shadows deep in the horizon that leave us scared and so afraid. As the fallout of a world divided, it brings her tears and so much pain. So we take cover from the dark, hoping to find where we can start. Oh, starlight, don't you cry, we're gonna make it right before tomorrow. Oh, starlight, don't you cry, we're gonna find a place where we belong, where we belong. And so you know, you'll never shine alone. The starlight will find a place where we belong, where we belong. You will see as the mountains fall and turn to dust, that there's one thing that won't change. I believe there is something within each of us that always stays.
All right. Excuse me. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to The Way We See It right here on the FFN Network. I am one of your hosts, Blaze Man, along with Mr. D, Mr. Donnie, and our special guest tonight from I-12GIA, Real Talk with Real People, on Wednesday nights from 8 to 9, Mr. Renee. What's happening there, pal?
Hello, brother.
So how you enjoying your time here on the show with us tonight? Not
I
bad,
love it.
huh?
I love you guys.
Not bad, not
Yeah,
bad.
before Blaze.
So, with that being said, look. So, we're gonna go over. We're gonna talk a little bit of Putin here, and let's see. You know, Putin's close ally is preparing for World War III. Okay, you know, I had said this on again one of our shows a while back, and I asked the guys all a question too. Was there a possibility for World War III? I would fucking hope not, but I'm a little bit, getting a little nervous because it's been brought up quite a bit. Concerns over a third World War legitimate. Okay. I don't know if I'm going to say this gentleman's name right, but Belarus, Belarus, Belarus. Am I saying that correctly?
The guy's name or
the guy's name, Belarus, Belarus.
I had heard today, but I didn't catch a name.
Anybody? Anybody?
What are we talking about?
Oh man, just the guy's name. Am
one
I
that got
pronouncing
killed?
it correctly?
I don't know.
Belarus. Belarus?
I don't know. I have
Okay,
no
thank
clue.
you, Donnie. D, do you know?
Nope.
All right, so his name's Belarus. Belarus leader said on Tuesday, as the country's Russia-aligned leadership solidified plans to be prepared as much as possible for future confrontation. The world has again come to the brink of the abyss. Belarus strongman leader Alexander Lukashenko said on Tuesday during a meeting with senior officials in the country's capital, Minsk. Go, Donnie.
Okay, so you're talking about the country Belarus or something like that.
Thank you.
That's what
Yeah.
you're talking about. Okay, so
All right, buddy.
that's a known guy that is associated with Putin, and I wouldn't believe nothing that come out that place no more than what you believe come out of Russia. Donnie, I don't know.
I'd like to add on Donnie. My only concern with Belarus is they border with Poland.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah,
North
that's
side. North side.
Yes,
No,
correct.
If I'm correct.
Yeah,
Go
correct.
ahead.
No, and I think I think the other route that the Russians were thinking about was going through Belarus and invading Poland and coming down and sweeping that way. That's the only reason when I hear Belarus, that's the only tactical thing I think of. Why is Russia fucking with Belarus?
Renee.
Yeah, I don't think Belarus is going to get involved with it. I mean, yeah, the guy's a mouthpiece for Putin, but as far as actual when the rubber meets the road, I think they're all talk. I do think Putin's winning the war in Ukraine, and so I think his attention is focused there, nowhere else.
The full-scale war in Ukraine, which will reach the 2-year mark. Guys, we've been talking about this for 2 years,
Yep.
D and Donnie. Okay. And I think we said that, at one point, I believe I said that it'll probably go like 6 months or something to that effect. Do y'all remember that episode?
Yeah, we talked about it. We all had our
Yes.
things. I didn't think it'd go more than a year.
Right.
Nobody
So,
thought it'd go this long.
Yeah, okay. Well, reached the 2-year mark later this week, has heightened global fears of a wider conflict spilling over Ukraine's border. The ongoing conflict is the largest in Europe since World War II. I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Yeah, they've been doing that for a while, Blake.
And references to the possible use of nuclear weapons have reached up anxieties at a time when other conflicts are flaring up across the world. Donnie, go, man. I don't know, man.
Good.
Maybe
I
it's
don't know
me.
why.
I don't like fucking people, especially leaders that have the capability to do this, start talking about using nuclear weapons. I'm sorry, Donnie, go.
What? Putin was talking about threatening to shoot one into space. Shit. Because
Yes,
he's
I
going to
know.
take out communications. This has become. It's not just a conflict and it's just Russia. No, it's not Russia Ukraine no more because Putin it don't seem like he gives a shit. He knows where everything's coming from, and they just pulled back. Ukraine just pulled back out of that one city, so now he just got some motivation because he's moving forward again. There was an article I don't know if I posted in there when they were talking about the missiles, Blake. Russia is at one of its richest points in its entire history right now. They've been at war for 2 years and they got more money than when they started. The new deals he's done with North Korea and everything else for ammunition and shells, everybody's saying we don't need to worry about the U.S. no more. Putin don't give a shit. It's obvious sanctions don't work. So, yeah, I mean, the conflicts are all over. I don't know what defines a world war. Really don't know who made that definition, but if You look at everything we got going on. We're fighting in almost 24 countries. As the U.S., we got conflicts in almost 24 countries we're supporting. I don't know what else World War is. And I'll let you guys go.
I just want to add on something with this Ukraine and Russia war. I just want to get back to Belarus. I hope this time when Intel captures Russian troops on the border of Belarus, Marshall, maybe NATO or the United States would act accordingly. But getting back to Renee, he made mention Russia making an advance. Yes, I agree. But could that possibly be the lack of ammunition Ukraine is receiving from the U.S. or any other foreign nation? Are they short on missiles, ammunition? Because it seems the people have the drive to go. And I want to make just one more last statement, and I'll listen to your remarks professionally. This war could be done in one day if they were to activate their Air Force. But again, if we activate the Air Force, not Ukraine's Air Force, which is 6 jets, I'm talking the whole American fleet that's over there in Europe, this would have been done already.
Oh, it definitely would have went to World War III. I mean, Russia's not going to let us go in there and bomb fucking Russia.
Yes, but I'm just saying this war could be done in a day. Are we ready, the Americans, for
retaliation?
Repercussions? Yeah. Yes. With kinetic energy.
All right. Let's take a listen to this, ladies and gentlemen.
Chris Warren, thank you so much. Overseas, the mysterious death of Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny has sparked silent protests across Russia and vocal outrage around the world. Tonight, Navalny's widow is vowing to continue his fight for a free Russia, as she accuses Vladimir Putin of killing her husband and, quote, hiding his body. CBS's Chris Livesay reports.
He was the Kremlin's fiercest critic. Now, Alexei Navalny's widow, Yulia Navalnaya, is filling the painful void, boldly accusing the Russian president himself. Vladimir Putin killed the father of my children. Putin took away the dearest thing I had. For days, the Navalny family has demanded to see his body. But tonight, Russian investigators say they will hold it for at least 2 more weeks for examination. In her searing indictment, his widow alleges it's all to cover up traces of poisoning. It was another of Putin's Novichoks, she asserts, the same nerve agent that nearly killed him in 2020. For his legions of outraged supporters, he's now a martyr. We are here to honor the memory of a hero, says Yelena. Vigils have been sprouting up across Russia, leading to roughly 400 arrests. As if speaking from the grave, Navalny sought to steal the spines of his supporters in a documentary just 2 years ago.
My message when I'm killed is very simple: not give up.
And the outrage truly is worldwide. At vigils like this one in Rome, people are demanding justice for Alexei Navalny and casting blame squarely on the Kremlin. As for the United States, President Biden says even more sanctions against Russia are under consideration.
Okay, so I mean, I guess that's how easy it is now, huh? I mean, in Russia, if we could do that in the United States and get away with it, you think Trump would be fucking dead right now?
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because we all know Putin had a hand in obviously he had him arrested because this guy was gaining traction. This guy was gaining traction. Donald?
Go ahead, Demas.
No, and Trump's gaining traction, and Joe Biden's coming out with all his, tactics, his DOJ after Trump. It's the same method.
Right. They're just not killing him.
Yeah, exactly, man.
They haven't done it yet.
I pray seriously to God, man, that never happens or ever happened to any standing president of this country going forward.
Yeah, we did it once. We don't want to do it again.
Because if
I don't
Donnie
think
goes, I think this country will erupt.
Not
I
only
really
would the
do.
country erupt, but listen, I mean, it would be impossible, I think, for them to get away with it with fucking technology, video cameras, cell phones, the whole fucking shooting shebang. I mean, when they fucking did in Kennedy, you know what I mean? The Zapruder tape, come on, Renee, go.
You all know who Stephen Miller is?
No, educate us, please.
Stephen Miller was one of Donald Trump's advisors when he was in the White House. Very well-spoken guy. He's always on the news. A couple of weeks ago, I heard him say 3 things are going to happen as far as Donald Trump is concerned. First one is they're going to go the route of trying to keep him off the ballot with the states.
And how long ago was this?
About 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
So,
I thought he was predicting something here.
So
Go
far,
ahead.
that hasn't happened. The Supreme Court has the case. I doubt
It's
they're going
not.
to take him off the ballots. Second thing Stephen Miller said they're going to do if they're unsuccessful with that is to make sure that he ends up in jail. Well, they're giving that their best shot too. And he said, if that don't work, then they're going to assassinate him. Their goal is to keep him from the White House.
That is
shocking.
No.
Shocking.
No.
That is shocking. That is a crazy statement.
No.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. Renee brought this up before, and we talked about it before.
These people, it's centralized power. They don't want to lead. They want to control everything. They want to control you, me. If they win, they control us. We're off the air. That's what our show is going to be on tomorrow night. One of the things that's going to be on. But that being said, nothing's beyond reach with these people.
Donnie.
I wanted to, I totally agree with Renee. There's some people out there that, there's nothing out of reach, and that's the only option I think they got left is to try to kill Trump. I mean, that's sad to say, and there's some dumbass there probably trying to do it right now because they want to make a name for themselves.
And do you think
ignorant society we live in? But I want to get back to the dude in Russia.
Exactly. Thank you. And do you think that's the reason that Putin, killed this guy? Because he was a threat to him. Go.
Of course. This ain't the first time Putin's done something like this and not been accused of this. He's been
we all know about the guy in London.
When he tried to poison him, it didn't work. There was an article I was reading about this guy because we were going to talk about him. Out of the 4 years, the nonprofits and the people that had contact with him, out of the 4 years, he spent 308 days in what they call a detention cell or a disciplinary cell. And, one of them he described sitting above the Arctic Circle at about 20-degree weather in a wooden metal box that he's able to walk 11 steps back and forth. And he's in that for 8, 10, 12 hours a day. This man spent almost 25% of his 4 years in what would be considered solitary confinement. They were slowly killing this man off. There was many times before that they couldn't get medical records. Oh, he's sick. And he talked about getting injected with things. They wouldn't explain to him what they were shooting him with. Oh, it's medicine. Then he'd feel like shit. He'd have problems, be back in the infirmary. I think they slowly killed that man off. And hey, for all y'all that
they tried to kill him
somewhere else.
They tried to kill him a few times.
Exactly, Blaze.
They're
gonna wait 2 more weeks. I think rigor mortis starts kicking in. Then you can't tell shit, right? Who knows?
Yeah.
No, that body's going to be returned, drained, rinsed.
Oh yeah,
they will flush any type of nerve agent that's attracted.
Exactly. They're gonna locate the poison and they're gonna get it out. It's fucking.
I wouldn't doubt it if they get the body as a shell.
That's nuts. That's absolutely.
That's not nuts. That's very likely. That's very likely what maybe Putin would do. Don't put nothing past this man.
Oh, I'm not.
Does not give a shit. It's his way. So,
You know what's crazy though is that we talk about President Putin and stuff, and we never talk about his psyche. Like our famous president Joe Biden. He can't hold one sentence, but this Putin man, he's sharp, man. But I really believe it's the cancer that's going to get this man. Now, going back, I want to go back a little right now. I went a little far. I really believe Putin has the mindset, I got 5 years left in this life. I could give a shit less what happens when I'm gone. But my main objective is to unite the old Russia back to the USSR. And that includes all the bordering states that are all in NATO now.
Yeah, that's what he wants. That's his goal. I mean, what was the guy was head of fucking KGB.
His office was East Berlin, and I just like to add something to that. Is that he felt embarrassed that nobody told him that the wall was coming down and that the USSR was separated. So when he went back to Russia, he went back with an attitude. Yes, sir, Renee.
Yep.
When I watch Putin on TV, what I see is I see fear and disgust. One thing I don't see is, I see anger and disgust. One thing I don't see is fear. So the man is a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, he's not.
You're right.
Not scared.
No, Renee. Good point. Good point.
He's not
Renee.
scared.
Sorry,
and you
Blaze.
want to know why he's not scared? And you want to know why any other heavyweight wouldn't be scared of us, like China? They're not scared of us either. You know why? Because we got somebody like Joe Biden in office. Okay? When he walks and you watch him walk on live fucking camera, you're just hoping that the man doesn't fall down. Okay? Listen, can I let me just finish here. And I think that these guys, like, fucking, they know that this dude is weak. We don't have the munitions right now to fight a fucking war. That's all. I yield. Donnie?
Well, I want to say that I don't think it's so much that they fear Joe Biden. I think the other well-known, Iran, China, North Korea, all these people, they're pushing the buttons because they know that. I think they know that the U.S. isn't really going to do nothing because, one, they're too far out, and two, it's really not anything beneficial for the U.S. to get involved. There's nothing that benefits us to doing that, and these other countries know it. So, of course, I'm going to push the limit. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's so much Joe Biden. I think it's just the overall consensus is there's nothing for them to gain. So, hell yeah, I'm going to go play loose. When it comes to Putin, I wouldn't put nothing past that dude. He will do whatever the fuck he wants to do, and he don't care about life. He don't care about nothing. Except for what you mentioned, getting the old USSR back together.
I'm going to ask the panel a question. I'm going to start with D. Just a simple answer, brother. If you want to rebuttal, I'll give 50 seconds for you. Does Putin push the button?
Wow, what a question. Yes.
Renee? Renee? Does Putin push the button?
No.
Would you care to elaborate or no? That's just your answer. He doesn't do it.
I do. I'll elaborate. I'll elaborate.
All right, 15 seconds. Go.
If he pushes the button, other people are going to push the button. You're talking world devastation here.
Yes, absolutely.
You're talking the end of the world.
Right.
I don't see it happening.
Donnie.
I agree with Renee. I don't see the end of the world happening, but I do see Putin launching an attack and it turning into what would be everybody considered World War III. At some point, I don't think Poland and all them are safe. At some point, he has enough of that and he attacks.
You know what I'm shocked with Putin right now in Ukraine is that he's not using any type of biological or chemical attack on the Ukrainians.
Not yet. That would be before.
Go ahead,
that would be used besides nuclear weapons.
But
that scares the fuck out of me the most. Go ahead, Donnie. I'll give you 30 seconds because we're almost next to break. Go ahead, Donnie. 30 seconds.
But remember, he used some kind of thermal type nuclear. It was a atomic type weapon already in Ukraine. He's already used it. They did the whole
hypersonic missile thing there.
No, it was
EMP,
hypersonic.
electronic magnetic.
No, it had to deal with a bomb, and it sucked out all the oxygen, and then it takes it back up into another. I'll have to get the name of it.
That sounds like our producer.
Thermobaric.
Yes.
Thermobaric. Yes. There
Yes.
you go. That one.
That's it.
That's the
it.
same as maybe atomic type shit. He's already used that in Ukraine.
Right. Renee, do you want to rebuttal?
No, I agree with Donnie. Like I said, I don't see it on the radar screen. Well, could it happen? Absolutely. Will it happen? Maybe. But I just don't see it on the radar screen right now. I don't see that as a viable option for Putin.
No.
Gotcha.
No, not
last
right
chance.
now. No, right now, no. And that question entails a lot of circumstances. You got to feed me before I make a decision. You just told me, will Putin push it? Yeah, I think he will. Will he? I don't know. I don't know what's happening. And that's it.
Right. Touche. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, when we come back from the break, we are going to find out or talk about North Korea sending Russia missiles. We evaluate them, and they got European and USA fucking tech inside of it. When we come back, that's what we're going to jump on, ladies and gentlemen, right here on The Way We See It, right here on the FFN Network. And we'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen, in about 5 minutes.
You'll get always the best of me, 'cause I love you endlessly. Girl, I feel so damn right when you're here by my side. I will always be there for you. Oh girl, I need you, that's so true. Hope you feel the same way, 'cause I want you to stay.
In the distance, light years from tomorrow, far beyond yesterday. She is watching, heart aching with sorrow. She is broken as she waits, hoping when all is said and done, we learn to love and be as one.
Hello. Blaze, I can't hear you.
Neither can I.
Renee, are you up with us?
I'm here.
Blaze, you're muted. You're muted.
There we go. There we go. So okay. With that, thank everybody for tuning in. I don't know how long I was muted for, but anyway, so we're gonna get to the point here. What happened? Don't we have sanctions on North Korea, ladies and gentlemen? Don't and if so, like who monitors this? And thirdly, because North Korea is selling, number one, they're selling missiles, okay, to the Russians. Okay. Now, supposedly one of these missiles were fired in the Ukraine war and ended up in probably going to butcher the name of the city or town or whatever.
Kharkiv.
But thank you, Kharkiv. That's it, brother. And I was going to say that right too. It could not have been it couldn't have been assembled before March 2023. So these missiles are brand new that North Korea is sending over to Russia. And once this missile was recovered, there was tons of Jesus, ladies and gentlemen, I'm losing my mind. Tons of equipment inside that was built in Europe and in the United States. So, number one, again, if North Korea has the so-called sanctions, first of all, who's selling them from the United States, the chip or whatever the situation may be in there? Who's selling it to North Korea from Europe? Blah blah this, blah blah that. And because this is another thing that's pissing me off. Let's take a listen.
North Korean leader Kim Jong-un supervised the test of a new surface-to-air missile and vowed to take a more aggressive stance in disputed waters, the country's state TV reported on Thursday. It comes a day after South Korea's military detected the North firing multiple cruise missiles off its eastern port of Wonsan. Kim has overseen a flurry of weapons tests since 2022 and has recently upped his rhetoric against the South, declaring it Pyongyang's #1 enemy. Kim also accused South Korea of violating its territorial waters.
So now we got North Korea getting more ballsy. We'll finish this up, and I'll give everybody here about 15 seconds to go right after me. There's another thing that's pissing me off, right? Okay, again, no sanctions, right? Because obviously that ain't working. Now they got ballistic missiles, okay, right? We say that they got the power to reach California, you know what I mean, or Hawaii, all right? But again, they're against the South, and you got China that wants Taiwan. So you think if China does something with Taiwan, do you think North Korea will go after the South? And you understand what I'm saying? Let me go, Renee. Renee, 15 seconds.
All right. So your missiles in Kharkiv, 75% of the parts were manufactured by companies. And here's the key: incorporated in the United States. Just because they're incorporated in the United States doesn't mean they're U.S. companies. 16% were made by companies incorporated in Europe. Again,
and they shouldn't be able to put the U.S. tag on it. But go ahead, sir.
But that doesn't mean that they're European, and 9% by Asia. But here's the thing: they wouldn't only sell this shit to North Korea. North Korea got them through countries that are able to purchase them and sold them to North Korea that aren't bound by the sanctions. And secondly, if they couldn't do that, they probably bought them on the black market.
Gotcha.
So I don't think you can really sit here and wholly lay all blame on U.S. companies.
Right. Okay. D, 15 seconds.
Well, I got a question for Renee. I believe the people that are responsible for sanctions is the State Department.
Yep.
Okay. And then second, I just wanted to make sure that. And second is I agree totally what Renee said about a neutral country harboring them parts to North Korea. Just look at NATO with Turkey, how deeply thrusted they are with Russia. You don't tell me
Right.
no hanky panky goes there. Come on.
Okay,
I
so
yield.
so the audience can understand a little bit is yeah, okay, so they're U.S. pots that are in there, you know. So this warlord from another country or whatever buys these pots, he sells them to the North Korean. Again, who watches sanctions? Who watches what that shit does? Donnie, 15 seconds, bud.
Well, what I looked up was, yeah, under the State Department, it's the Office of Foreign Assets Control under the Department of Treasury. OFAC is what they're called for. They are the primary role in administering and enforcing many U.S. sanction programs. But after that gets out to distributors, all them electronics and everything in there that are, like the article was saying, a lot of the cheaper parts, they're universal parts that go on anything. So that's so hard to control. Once it hits global distributors that wholesale this stuff to other people, and it just goes to show, what really are we sanctioning? What are we doing? We're kind of wasting our time. Do something more productive that's actually gonna hurt their economy or something.
And I agree with that 110%. Thanks, guys. Let's take a listen more.
For more on the security situation on the Korean peninsula, our reporter Jaime Okan spoke to Matthew Sussex, a security analyst from the Griffith Asian Institute in Sydney, Australia.
What do you make of the increased frequency in weapons testing? Is this more for show, or is there a logic to this?
Oh, look, I think it's probably a bit of both, in that now seems to be a very opportune time to create havoc in the international system. And, North Korea has been no stranger to that for many, many years. But I do think that it senses that, there is potential to, be able to rattle its sabers and show off its capabilities, just to give the United States and South Korea and Taiwan and Japan something else to worry about. And I think to an extent that this is also informed a bit by, the closer relationship between Russia and North Korea, which, probably sees as being able to act with a bit more impunity than previously.
We've seen rhetoric heat up. Recently, we saw North Korea label South Korea as its biggest enemy. How significant is that in the sense of how partners are going to need to adapt to manage these threats?
Yeah, look, that's a fantastic question. And to be honest, the answer could be either. In the past, we've seen the DPRK ramp up the rhetoric as a prelude to, in fact, signaling something that it wants from the West, and is potentially, prepared to make concessions. On the other hand, of course, it could be that there is a sense that if you harden your rhetoric towards the United States, towards South Korea, and its friends and partners, then you are, maximizing your visibility within the area, within the region, as a country that can do harm.
Recently, we've seen not just traditional military threats like missiles, but also new threats like cyber attacks, satellites, even drones being tested from North Korea. Would you say that this is making it more difficult for the United States and its allies and its partners to counter these threats?
North Korea is becoming a much more sophisticated multi-domain threat, whether that's, evolving past ransomware to actually being, quite capable of, extracting sensitive information. On the pointier end of it, I think it's a real worry that the DPRK is modernizing its military quite significantly, and also its ability to strike at range. And I think perhaps the concern is going to be not just that the DPRK evolves a new suite of longer range nuclear capable missiles, but that it starts moving towards some kind of triad, survivable triad through submarines, which we know it's, interested in putting nuclear weapons on, land-based warheads and potentially aerial ones as well. And I think that would be a really, really dangerous thing for the region and extremely hard for the United States to deter.
Renee?
So the State Department's responsible for sanctions, but you know what Anthony Blinken was doing yesterday? He was having a meeting with his staffers and cautioning them on how to avoid problematic terms and misgendering and not using terms like manpower, mother, and father. So if their heads are that far up their ass and their focus is on transgender and misgendering and gender, how do you expect them to enforce the sanctions that are in place? The whole world is out of control. The people that are supposed to be doing their jobs are not doing their jobs.
I can't argue that. Anybody want a shot?
To argue it or to agree with it, but
Agree with it. I mean, look,
understand it's our own damn fault though that they're not doing their jobs because we've put ourselves in a position where the people that are not doing their jobs are in charge of making rules about doing your job. So how are we going to enforce that, or what's the refix for getting them to do their job other than electing them out of office?
Thank you, Donnie. Good point.
D.
No, I ain't got nothing. I agree totally.
Gotcha. All right, so look, let's take a look. This is the material that was found in the missiles. I'm gonna start bottom left corner, my left. Look, China, U.S., China, Japan, Netherlands, USA, Germany, Taiwan, USA, and Singapore, Switzerland, and USA. So there's 1, 2, 3. There's 4 USAs up there. 4. Donnie?
Well, that's what I say about the global economy that we're really in. I mean, you got all them places where you can get all that. Come on, how are we going to stop these bombs from being made? You really can't. I mean, it's real easy to get the material.
And you know what? You know what?
Very, very, made a point of that. They've given great examples of what simple technology can do to really hurt and harm people.
Exactly. I mean, look, if they can do that, I mean, I don't know how many missiles that North Korea built with this tech that we were looking at on the screen, but I mean, look, things probably doesn't seem to it would be that hard to get the proper things except the plutonium for a dirty bomb. Renee?
Well, I agree, but I'd stick to my earlier guns. Just because the company's incorporated in the U.S. doesn't mean they're a U.S. company. That said, they have back channels they can get the stuff through. Let me give you a quick example. Anybody can go shopping anywhere. I have night vision goggles on my helmet. You try to buy night vision goggles in the United States, you're going to pay $5,000, $6,000, $7,000. I got a nice pair, Russian made, for $700.
Okay.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
It is what it is. You go shopping.
If you want it, no, our audience, I'm pretty sure we get a smart fucking audience. I understand it. They get it. You know what I mean? If you want something bad enough, there's a way to get it, right?
Yes. My point. Yep.
So again,
but to get it, to procure it, and to manufacture, that's another question. But this is the problem that we have. Let's look back a couple of months ago. There was a couple of visits to Russia. First, it was it was North Korea, and then China all went to Russia. And I know exactly how this is being manufactured, these missiles. North Korea must be pumping them out now, big time. But everything's coming in through China. It's getting manufactured in North Korea and shipped out from there. That's how I really believe that's what's going on. That's where these missiles are being made. And one thing, serving over there and hearing that radio shit, the North Koreans, they watch their TV live than people waiting for that missile to come over.
Yeah.
But,
they sit there religiously like it was the 1970s where we all sat down, all sat down as little boys and girls to watch the Disney movie. You know what I mean?
And the point I wanted to make, you get to learn their missile systems and stuff when you're over there. And wow, they are highly more advanced compared to when I was there in 2003. A lot more. And they're generating that money, and they're building for Russia, and China's getting paid, and China's taking care of North Korea. I know it is.
Renee.
I agree.
Renee. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Money makes the world go round. I agree. I agree with Mr. D.
Renee, where does North Korea make their money? What do they make their money on? What is their their export? What are what?
I
Renee?
just told you. Told you. Military shit.
Yeah.
That they're making for the black market.
They have no right to export anything. They've been shut down. They've been locked out as a nation. Mr. D's right. They're making illicit military stuff and sending it off to Russia, China, wherever, Iran, to be used against other countries.
So they don't have any resources of their own?
They're dead broke. Their people are starving. The only one that's eating is young fat Kim. Look at him.
Right, I understand that,
The
but
rest
they
of the
don't have any
people
kind
like-
of oil reserve. They don't deal in coal. They don't have resources like that at all.
No.
Blaze, that country shut off to the world. That
From a
this
satellite,
makes-
it's black.
Roger, dude. But
Yeah.
this country makes it a perfect country to build weapons of that size, manufacture them under the mountains, and ship them to China.
Nobody's
And China
watching
goes
them.
to Russia.
Yeah.
And nobody's checking China boats.
So
when
let's
they're
go.
leaving.
So let's go to the Marvel universe real quick. So North Korea is like fucking Hydra. You know what I mean? It's they don't have any resources to deal with anybody, even if they were fucking like a normal country. So for them to make their money, they get what they need, technology on the black market, build the missiles. I can't see them being too high tech, gentlemen. I can't see it.
They're not.
Well, they had to be enough to send missiles over to Russia. Brand new.
Like I said, built with components that they get on the black market.
That's a big black market, guys. You don't think nobody, the fucking CIA, the NIS or whatever, nobody's watching this?
No, apparently not. They're getting the parts and they're building the missiles. But if I was Putin, every time I pushed the launch button on those missiles, I'd hold my breath. Built by a third world country like North Korea, no guarantee that they're going to fire off all the time either.
Right. Don't be around any fucking test flights, Putin.
No,
you know what I mean? Donnie.
Don't be around any of that. Of course he knows. Demas, there was an article I read. Yeah, it said exactly what you said about the weapons. They export to China, China takes it to Russia. It's all done by train, all this other stuff. But as far as exports, they have a coal. That's about 43 of what they export. Wigs, fake beards, eyebrows, all that fake hair stuff, all that, artistical, make your face great stuff. I mean, and they're not totally cut off. Let's not get that wrong. It's just the U.S. and that. There's no kind of sanctions that say they can't do business with anybody else. When it comes to the technology, I
I'm
think
still here, gentlemen.
North Korea is probably more advanced. That whole area is more advanced than we are. So I could get that, but you're not going to stop it. There ain't nothing you can do about North Korea. At some point, Kim wants all of that island, or he's going to have none of it. I think that's the future, and I think he's just waiting on China or somebody else to maybe pop off, something else to get started. And I think at some point,
like Taiwan
invading.
like China invading Taiwan. I asked that earlier to the audience that if China does that to Taiwan, why wouldn't North Korea, do the same thing to South Korea? Because they know China would back them after that as well, right?
I don't know, but
You know the relationship the United States has with Israel. They're our little puppet, right? That relationship is the same with China and North Korea. North Korea is China's little bad puppet, and they do China's all dirty work there. I'm not saying I studied the area. I spent a little time over there, and you saw the way things flow. We're just as guilty as they are with our relationship with Israel. Hello?
Yeah.
Feedback?
I
Comment?
agree with that. I agree with that. I agree with that. Listen, we got about 5 minutes, gentlemen.
Wait, real quick.
Excuse me.
Real quick. Getting back to the CIA, I personally don't believe that the CIA is there because they're that vetted, that country is.
You don't think the CIA is there?
I think I'm pretty sure it's the CIA's one of the top 5 countries to get embedded in. I really believe that, man.
What's that, North Korea?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, of course.
You
They
got
probably
20
got
seconds
people-
to rebuttal, Donnie. Go, 20 seconds.
Well, I think the CIA is already in North Korea. There's just so many things that's not said. I don't know.
I don't think the CIA is in North Korea. Renee, 20 seconds.
I don't. In 2017, Resolution 2371 banned the export of coal, iron, lead, and seafood from North Korea to other countries. The resolution also restricts North Korea Foreign Trade Bank and prohibits North Koreans from working in foreign countries. North Korea, like Donnie said, kudos to Donnie, also secured illicit trading routes via China. So do I think the CIA is there? I think as far as our government's concerned, North Korea is off the map. That's my own personal opinion.
D?
Blaze, what's your opinion? We all gave our opinion.
What subject? We had a lot of them.
CIA is the CIA present in North Korea?
I don't think the CIA is in North Korea. I don't think so. I think if there is spies, that's the China and North Korean border. Maybe because we definitely CIA's got guys in China. There's no doubt about that. But I'm saying if they were to go, they'll probably go from that way. But I don't see the CIA is not in North Korea, man.
No.
I mean, that place is locked down like fucking. I mean, yeah, people do get away, but I mean, I watched a newsreel of where he had Kim had his was it his brother? Yeah, he had his brother killed.
Yeah, that was in the Philippines.
They told these two young North Korean women that they won a trip. They did a game show or whatever, and they were gonna win a trip, but they had to pull a prank. So it was like a prank show that North Korea put together and tricked these two girls, and they put something on their hands. And the prank is that one girl would distract the brother, okay, and the other girl would sneak up behind him and go, "Who's this?" Type of shit like that.
Yeah.
And when she would put the thing on his face, it was the reaction, the chemical, whatever, and it fucking killed him.
Yeah.
Yep,
So,
history.
With that being said,
You ain't got no other brothers.
I'd like to thank Mr. Renee from I-12 GIA. Real Talk with Real People. Their show will be on tomorrow night, Wednesday, February 21st, 8 to 9 p.m., right here on the FFN Network. Okay? So don't forget to check out them. I'd like to thank my boy, my brother from another mother, Mr. D. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Blaze. Thank you, Renee. Thank you, Donnie. Thank you, everybody that that listened.
Thank you, Mr. D.
We'll get right. As a country, we got to get right.
Absolutely. Mr. Donnie.
Hey, you know me.
It was
Like
great
always.
tonight, buddy. Great.
Great
Absolutely
job, Donnie.
Great. Absolutely
Yeah,
great. You know what I mean? You're on top of things as always, Donnie. You know what I mean? You don't get worked up, but, say goodnight to everybody, pal.
Hey, just however we're connecting, appreciate it. Renee, thanks for coming on.
All right, brother.
Be positive. We'll see y'all next week, man.
Right on, Donnie. Right on.
Smoke.
My hero.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, good night. We'll catch you all next Tuesday right here on the FFN Network. Don't forget to check out I-12 GIA, Real Talk with Real People. Peace and love to each and every one of you out there, ladies and gentlemen. Good night.
You'll get always the best of me, 'cause I love you endlessly. Girl, I feel so damn right when you're here by my side. I will always be there for you. Oh girl, I need you, that's so true. Hope you feel the same way, 'cause I want you to stay.
Why do you believe what you believe? Because at some point in your life, you trusted the information that somebody was giving you. And that someone you trusted told you that a car was a car, a tree was a tree, a bird was a bird, the blue stuff above you is the sky. And that's the way that we began to determine what we believe to be a fact. Most of the things that we believe to be a fact in our lives are told to us through our stories or the news that we hear. So my question would be, if they were deceiving you with the stories they tell you, would you be able to recognize that?